Hi, I'm Olga at Haya, and today I will be reviewing the Hurricane Spin Scrubber. Is a cordless, rechargeable power scrubber that does the hard work of cleaning for you. It's supposed to help you clean faster and easier. This spin scrubber can be used on many different surfaces, such as shower floors, doors, bathtubs, cooktops, oven doors, and more. Spin scrubber's key features include a rotating brush that spins 300 times per minute, 3 scrubbing heads that are ideal for various surfaces, no wires or cords. The spin scrubber is cordless and rechargeable with the charger included. It also comes with an extension arm for hard to reach areas that extends up to 44 inches. Spin Scrubber claims that this brush can cut through soap scum, mildew, and grime. It works without harsh chemicals, that it can be used indoors as well as outdoors. It has flexible bristles that mold into cracks and crevices that are hard to reach, and that it's ideal for people with arthritis. The Hurricane Spin Scrubber comes with a few pieces and requires some assembly. Here you see the scrubber head assembly, along with the dome brush head, the flat brush head, and the corner brush. You also have your main handle, which has the on and off switch, as well as the extension release button, and of course your extension handle. This brush also comes with the charging adapter, which needs to be connected to the end of the main handle. To assemble the spin scrubber, you have to attach the scrubber head assembly to the main handle until it clicks into place and the release button is secure. The brush heads are simply attached to the head assembly by lining up the grooves and pushing it into place. Similarly, the brush heads are removed just by pulling the two ends apart. And finally, to assemble the extension handle, you simply connect the scrubber head assembly to the extension handle until it clicks, and then connect the other end of the extension handle to the main handle until you hear a click. Now, personally, I dislike cleaning the bathtub and the shower the most, and I always try to put that chore off as long as I can. So since this spin scrubber brush seems to address most of my gripes with cleaning the bathtub, I have to be honest that I was quite intrigued with it. So let's go ahead and test it out. So starting out with a shower, here you can see the dirty shower tile floor. I sprayed it down with some water as well as your standard multi-purpose cleaner and started scrubbing using the flat brush head. Right away, I have to say that the extension handle really helps in extending your reach so that you can scrub the floor without even bending down. I did have to hold the brush fairly tight, sometimes with both hands, because since the brush head spins to the right, it has a tendency to pull the entire brush to the right as well. So while you don't necessarily have to press down on the brush, I did have to apply some pressure to direct the brush where I wanted it to go. Once I was done, the brush head surprisingly looked pretty clean, and after a quick rinse of the shower floor, it seemed to look much cleaner. Now on the other half of the shower, there is that similar grimy floor and also what looked like a lot of rust spots. And similarly, after spraying it with some shower cleaner, I started scrubbing the floor. And I definitely had to spend extra time on those rust spots, but the spin scrubber seemed to get most of them out. There were still a few annoying stains in the grout that I had to go over a second time. And while the spin scrubber got rid of most of them, there was 1 or 2 areas that didn't look as clean as I'd really like them to be. Now, while the shower floor and grout was still wet, it looked as if the Hurricane Spin Brush did an excellent job of lifting away all the stains and cleaning it up. However, once all the water dried out completely, you could definitely see that there were quite a few spots, especially in the grout, that still had that stubborn scum and mildew. Now, I also tested out the corner brush on the shower ledge and the door rails, and while the brush does a great job of getting into the corners, it is hard to keep it stable without it slipping off from side to side. And on the other side of the shower door rails, I tested out the dome brush, which I thought did a better job of getting rid of all that mildew. So overall, when it came to cleaning the tiled shower floor, I thought that the Hurricane Spin brush did an okay job. I do believe that in order to get all those really stubborn stains out of the grout, you would need to use some stronger cleaning agents or chemicals to really lift off all that soap scum and mildew. When it came to cleaning the shower door, I thought that the Hurricane Spin Scrubber did a fairly good job. Here you can't clearly see the water stains and mildew, but they were there, I can guarantee it. And after just a few minutes of scrubbing the door with the Spin Scrubber, here is the after shot, which I thought was a pretty big improvement. I also tried the Hurricane Spin Scrubber on a regular old bathtub. As you can see in these before shots, the bathtub definitely needed some cleaning, but what I was most interested in is how Hurricane Spin Scrubber would remove the stains from all of that tile, grooves, and the textured bathtub floors. Now, I started out working on only half of the bathtub for comparison's sake, and with some shower cleaner, I used the dome brush to go over the shower wall to try and cover a larger area. I then switched to a corner brush to try to get into each individual tile groove as well as into the corners on top of the bathtub. On the floor of the bathtub, however, I did use the flat brush head to try and get that mildew from the texture of the floor. And I probably spent a good 15 to 20 minutes on just the one half of the floor to really try to get into that textured floor and restore it back to its clean white color. After rinsing the shower clean, you can see the results for yourself. Here is the half of the shower floor cleaned with the Hurricane Spin Scrubber and the other half untouched. So as far as the shower wall and the tile grooves, this brush did a decent job of removing the soap scum and mildew, although it did take quite a bit of time of concentrating on each individual tile to make sure that all of that was clean. Now, I also decided to tackle the other half of the bathtub, starting with the flathead brush on the bathtub floor, and then switching to the corner brush for the grooves and the faucet. And unfortunately, before I could finish thoroughly cleaning the entire floor and before I could get into every groove in the shower wall, the battery on the Hurricane Spin Scrubber started dying on me. So in the end, after about an hour of scrubbing the entire bathtub, I was still annoyingly left with less than perfectly clean shower floor and some dirty spots on the shower walls. And I think I would need to spend at least another 30 minutes or so to really get the shower as clean as possible without using some stronger cleaning agents or chemicals. I also tried using the corner brush head to clean a sink faucet. And because the brush is constantly spinning, it was really hard to keep it stable and in place. Also, I would say that the corner brush is really too big to get into all those really small crevices on the faucet. So while it did clean some of the main parts okay, I don't think that it's a better alternative to just cleaning it with a sponge. After I was done using the Hurricane Spin Scrubber, the brush heads were fairly easy to clean. All you really have to do is just run them under water and rinse them out. So the bottom line is that the Hurricane Spin Scrubber definitely makes cleaning bathtubs and showers easier and maybe in some cases faster. I definitely appreciated not having to bend down and do all that scrubbing on myself. It is definitely physically a lot easier. However, when it comes to how much faster you'll be able to clean with the Hurricane Spin Scrubber, I do have to say that you would have to take quite a bit of time to concentrate the brush on each individual area for maybe a few minutes to make sure that it really removes all that mildew, soap scum, and buildup. All that dirt doesn't just miraculously disappear with a few spins of the brush. Now, I'm not sure how much longer it would take if you have some really heavily built up mildew and soap scum. I would imagine that you would require stronger cleaning agents and chemicals to really lift that off, as well as spend a significant amount of time in each area using the spin scrubber to remove and clean up that area. But for your normal everyday stains and regular cleaning, I do think that the Hurricane Spin Scrubber will do a fairly good job cleaning up. So some of the negatives that I noticed after using the Hurricane Spin Scrubber are that it is a bit on the heavy side. Especially when the brush is spinning, I often had to use 2 hands to keep the scrubber in place. And with that said, I'm not sure how fitting this brush would be for those suffering from arthritis, since I still had to exert quite a bit of force to keep the brush in the place that I wanted it to be. Another negative is that the charging time for this spin scrubber is just too long. It takes about 20 hours to charge the brush completely before the first use, and after that it would take another 8 hours every time you need to recharge your brush. A fully charged battery will last you about an hour, which may seem like a sufficient amount of time for cleaning. However, if you do try to do some really deep cleaning like I tried to do in the bathtub, it really is not enough time to clean the entire bathtub completely. And lastly, the Hurricane Spin Scrubber definitely won't deliver the same results without at least some kind of cleaning agents or chemicals. Even with the standard multi-purpose cleaner that I used in my tests, I really had to spend some time and put in a lot of work to remove those stains. And I imagine that without any cleaner at all, the results wouldn't be very impressive at all. So that was my take on the Hurricane Spin Scrubber. I do hope that you enjoyed it and that it was helpful. Please tune in next time for more product tests and reviews, and don't forget to subscribe to Haya